The Matrix is full of mysteries. The city of Zion is one such mystery, an underground human city away from the machines. But this last human sanctuary could be another prison created by the machines. How is it that humans acquired or created such technology to run the city in such a short period of time? How did they build the hover ships, defense systems, and an entire network of underground tunnels in less than 100 years? Today we're going to take a look at the mysterious creation of Zion. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
First seen in Matrix Reloaded, the city of Zion is an underground city inhabited by the Red Pills, whose hierarchical structure is based on a democratic consulate.
We kind of set it up so that the people were above the council. A democracy, and that you had representatives there from each of the ships or representatives from each level of the bottomless pit.
Humans of all colors and races live in the city. Zion's multiculturalism is one of its most important aspects. Its diversity is meant to represent all of humanity.
So Zion, I think, is one of those rare occurrences in Hollywood where it reflects what I guess we're calling multiculturalism now.
The city's complexity is also impressive.
So I think the first drawing I did of the dock, I don't know, it took me 2.5, 3 weeks or something, because it was so labor intensive and figuring out the perspective. And Owen had done a schematic of what the basic shape and what the levels were, because it was almost like steps that would lead down to the main sewer drain, if you want.
And every 43 meters is a major kind of level, and in between it there are 10 levels of houses ringing around this naturally formed sinkhole.
However, the city's most important trait is its technology. Before the machine war, humans lived in mega cities. These giant cities had underground tunnel systems that machines would freely transport goods in and out of the cities. The behind the scenes of Matrix Revolutions mentions this in better detail.
We figure that at this point the world had got so successful because of the kind of underclass of machines, their slave class, they'd been able to have these big mega cities, and these big sewers were here to support those big cities. The whole sewer might have been made up of a whole lot of little pipes, which are still huge pipes, like the one on our left. My left here is a huge pipe where, maintenance vehicles and things like that can go.
This is very interesting information, as it reveals that the tunnels leading to Zion were built by the machines long before the machine war began. These underground tunnels were used by machines to build and sustain mega cities. This paints a clearer picture of where Zion's technologies come from and who created them. The machines know these tunnels perfectly because they created them when they were slaves. The architect has stated that the machines have destroyed Zion 5 times before, and it is the integral anomaly who must create the next Zion. This leads us to believe that maybe the areas that the Red Pills frequently travel to in hovercrafts are the ruins of the previous Zions, bits and pieces of the old cities that the machines left behind. The fact that Zion is located within a cavern is a reference to the symbolism of Plato's cave, one of which we have spoken about many times before. In the myth of the cave, a prisoner ascends to the outside world, passing from darkness to light, from ignorance to enlightenment. The cave represents a prison of ignorance, just like Zion. Zion is a prison created by the machines to keep the anomalies and the 1% of humans who rejected the Matrix under control. In Matrix Reloaded, we do catch minor glimpses of people working and building, so the Red Pills might have built parts of it. But maybe the machines facilitated the Red Pills with tech they can find to help them build up and maintain the city. There is a Matrix comic book about Zion scavengers, groups of people who are dedicated to finding ancient technology to use for the betterment of the city. Maybe the machines left bits and pieces and parts of ships, engines, and other stuff on the surface and in the tunnels for the new inhabitants of Zion to find and build up the new city. The machines monitor every human action underground like a machine-made anthill. They gave the Red Pills the tools to survive without them knowing. all for the sake of reaching the end of the cycle and controlling the anomaly. So if you ask us whether or not the machines built Zion, our answer would be yes, but not entirely. The humans thought that they were the ones who built Zion with the technology they found, not knowing that the machines were tricking them, that they were living in an underground city surrounded by tunnels created by the machines hundreds of years ago, answering the question as to how and why Zion uses advanced geothermal energy technology, building and repairing dozens of ships in a short time. The machines help them because if they do not reach an adequate level of technological prowess, the anomalies would not fulfill their purpose. The train man once said that the fifth Zion was destroyed in 72 hours.
72 hours. 72 hours.
What did you just say?
That's exactly how long Zion lasted last time.
What do you mean and who are you?
Me? Nobody. Just a spectator enjoying the ride.
While each Zion is different, they share similar traits. They were constructed within the tunnel systems that the machines dug, and they were watched up until the day when the city is going to be destroyed. Another important cosmetic detail is the color of the doors of the Red Pill's homes. They are all red. In the behind-the-scenes documentary, it was stated that Zion is the human crop fields in reverse. The Red Pills used to live inside red pods. Now, they live behind red doors.
So in the first film, everyone lived in a little red house on the outside of a big cylinder. And it was the power plant, a pod. And in this film, everyone lives on the inside of a cylinder in a little red hole.
Basically, Zion, it's the power pods in reverse. Instead of projecting from a cylinder, they're living inside a cylinder. They've escaped from one environment to basically live in the same environment.
But perhaps the most important piece of evidence that the machines built Zion comes from Matrix production designer Owen Patterson. He had a theory that machines did create Zion.
My theory is that the machines purpose-built Zion for the human beings. But you have to have balance within the system so that you could have a matrix. Within that, there has to be a sense of freedom or rebellion, so you have to have a Zion.
Now, if the Red Pills discovered the truth after Matrix Revolutions, one of two things might have happened. Either they left Zion to seek a new home away from the machines, a new city that is protected and that does not depend on the technology provided by their once enemies, or they stayed, and Zion was turned into a city similar to the machines' City 01. For the past 20 years, the machines could have been helping the Red Pills grow Zion into a better city, unrecognizable from how it looked in the original trilogy. Perhaps Zion is now inhabited by humans and robots, and a new anti-machine resistance might have emerged to challenge this new status quo. Zion is the perfect prison in the perfect location, a place that provides a false sense of security. No Red Pill ever questioned its existence, where the technology comes from, or how they've managed to live in peace underground for so long. Nobody questions anything as long as everything is working. But do you agree? Did the machines build Zion and are always watching the humans? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.